Alright, what's up guys? Welcome to Promotech. Thanks for tuning in. Samsung's Galaxy S26 Ultra is expected to launch in early February 2026. But what's happening behind the scenes matters more than the date itself. Samsung quietly reversed key decisions, revived an upgrade people thought was dead, and shifted its entire strategy in ways that will impact Galaxy phones for years, not just this release cycle. Let's dive right into the video. We've talked a lot about rear cameras, but the first real twist is the front camera, and this one barely leaked. Samsung is reportedly switching from its in-house ISOCELL sensor to a Sony sensor. On paper, same resolution, similar size, nothing flashy, but side-by-side comparisons tell a different story. Sony sensors consistently deliver better dynamic range and more natural skin tones. If you noticed inconsistent highlights or slightly artificial tones on the S25 Ultra, this is Samsung quietly correcting that. The field of view is also widening from 80 to 85 degrees. That sounds minor, but in real-world use it changes framing dramatically. Group selfies feel less cramped, vlogs feel less stretched. The trade-off is a slightly larger punch hole, possibly the biggest ever on an Ultra. Samsung chose functional improvement over visual symmetry. That's not accidental. That's priority shifting. And here's where the philosophy changes. Instead of pushing dramatic sensor upgrades, Samsung is going AI first. Fewer massive hardware jumps, more computational photography. That's a strategic pivot. Apple leans into silicon power. Google leans into AI magic. Samsung is blending both, but this year, software is clearly taking center stage. New generative features build on sketch-to-image and photo-to-sticker tools, allowing on-device transformations in under a minute. For casual users, that means instant social-ready content. For creators, that means less time editing and more time shooting. Samsung understands that attention is currency now. Speed wins. Then comes the sleeper upgrade that could matter even more long-term. One UI 8.5 introduces 24-bit Bluetooth audio recording. Most people will scroll past that spec. They shouldn't. Jumping from 16-bit to 24-bit massively increases dynamic range. Quiet sounds stay detailed. Loud peaks don't distort as easily. Add dual Bluetooth mic support with independent gain controls directly from the notification bar, and suddenly the S26 Ultra isn't just a phone. It's a mobile production rig. Samsung is optimizing certain mics for direct connection without a receiver. That's huge for interviews, street content, podcast clips, or run-and-gun creators. This isn't a random feature. It's targeted. Samsung wants creators who once carried mirrorless cameras and audio recorders to reconsider what's in their pocket. Quick side note, if you're building content workflows like this, you already know the bottleneck isn't capture, it's organization. That's where Walverse fits naturally into the story. Instead of juggling separate AI, tools, and storage systems, it centralizes editing and asset management. If Samsung is pushing AI-first capture, creators need AI-first workflow to match. Now let's talk pricing strategy, because Samsung changed their mind here too. A price increase looks likely across several markets. But at the same time, they're bringing back the double storage offer, 512 gigabytes for the price of 256 gigabytes in regions like India. That's roughly a $130 value swing. On paper, prices rise. In practice, early adopters feel like they're gaining something. It's a psychological counterbalance, and announcing it early locks and pre-orders before full reviews drop. And then there's the Buds 4 Pro adjustment. The upgrade everyone expected reportedly shifted late in development. That suggests Samsung is tightening ecosystem positioning, not just tweaking a phone. The S26 Ultra feels less like a single product upgrade and more like a strategic recalibration across Galaxy. Real quick, over 70% of you watching aren't subscribed. If you're into breaking down why companies make these moves instead of just reading spec sheets, subscribe and join this community. We're here for the details most people miss. So here's the bigger picture. Samsung didn't just update the S26 Ultra. They corrected course. They refined their camera partnerships. They leaned hard into AI. They empowered creators. They adjusted pricing psychology. If this is the blueprint for 2026, what happens when hardware gains slow even more? Does Samsung become an AI company that happens to make phones? Take care and stay safe. I'll see you in the next one soon. Cheers. Bye-bye.